All right. Why am I here? Okay, the reason, and I think that also will explain the name that I will choose. I haven't chosen a name yet for this channel, but it's because so many people who are not of my faith, in fact, all the people who have said it are not of my faith, but they thought I should do a YouTube thing, channel, whatever you want to call it, because they said that my life is not typical for a Black South African. We're vegan, generally. I do have some ingredients sometimes that might have egg or whatever, but not as much anymore, even that. I'm gluten-free. I have IBS, constipation mostly, so I avoid gluten. And so obviously some of the things that are substitutes might have egg in them. But yeah, we're vegan. Our children have always been vegan. Well, except for the adoptees. But that's the other thing. We adopted. That is the other reason this particular one lady or two said that I should do a YouTube channel, because most Blacks do not adopt. And homeschooling, we homeschool. That's another thing that most, not even half, I would say, of Black people do. It's just not in the mind frame. It's just not even an option, really. So for many Black people. So that is why I'm here, because I apparently am living a life that is not typical or not stereotypical of people like me, which I do admit is true. I mean, how many people cover their heads? How many 43-year-olds do you know who cover their heads? Not many. And wear dresses all the time. Again, not many. My life is not typical. So I thought maybe I'd find a corner of the YouTube world where I'll post about my not typical life, including my not typical health, which is really why I decided now is the time, because there's so much out there that is thrown at us chronically ill people that I wanted to redress the balance, or balance it up a bit more, and to, I don't know, kind of encourage you to stay strong, and to know that you're not alone. So that's the other reason. Also, how many people have 6 children in South Africa, especially? I won't go into the large families overseas, but in South Africa, many people do not have 6 children. And many Black people, as I said, have not adopted. And many people do not have 5 out of 6 children with neurodivergencies. I am very new to this whole PC world, where Americans especially, and that's the thing, we in South Africa, Americans are the ones who are writing a lot. American autistics, for example, or ADHDers, etc. They write a lot. They have their own specific viewpoint, and of course, even amongst them as adults, they don't all agree. So I will use terms that might be wrong for my many Adventists. Yes, I'm an Adventist, sorry. Also, so many adult autistics, neurodivergent people, neurodiverse people. So yes, I've got 6 children. My last born ended up being a set of twins. So that is how we ended up with 6. We would have had 5. Not that 5 is a normal number either. But here I am. I am an Adventist Christian who actually believes in the spirit of prophecy. That is gobbledygook for you if you're not Adventist. But the Adventist church was begun on the basis of a woman who was getting messages from God and telling us to go back to the Bible, follow the Bible, and then also giving extra steps for our modern days. Like the Old Testament was different to the New Testament, and there were extra steps in the New Testament, like when Jesus said, yes, don't commit adultery, but even looking at a woman lustfully, that's also adultery. That's not in the Old Testament. So then we have the continuation. That's what we believe as Seventh-day Adventists. Well, I hope we do. That the continuation then for our modern days was the writings of Ellen White. And so I shall end there for now, because I've had an interruption. So I don't want Elle in there, and then I'll come back after the pause, which might be after a few hours. And now it's 15:24, so that was 7 hours ago that I started this video. I think I rambled a lot in my outtakes. I kept getting interrupted. Joys of 6 children. So this will have to be my last attempt, really, because I need to lie down. Okay, so I really wanted this space for people like me in my shoes, the people who are suffering physically, chronic illness, chronic pain, chronic fatigue. I'll explain more later about that. I want to also be a space for those who are adoptive mothers who are not accepted. Not only because, or whose children rather, are not accepted. For us, it's a matter of they're not part of the family because they're not blood, and blood matters more than love. So that's where I stand, or where my children unfortunately have been put, where they are not accepted just because they come from a different womb. When we adopted, it wasn't to do welfare. They were our children. They became our children, our son and our daughter first, and then our son. So obviously our parents should be their grandparents, right? But unfortunately, that's not really what has happened. And my aunts should have become their great aunts. That didn't happen either. So if you're one of those whose child is not really part of the family, I hope you find a safe space here. If you're an adult in South Africa who's been adopted, my heart is with you. And then hated, my heart is with you, and I wish I could do something for you. I'm thinking of people who've written asking for legal advice in one of our legal South African groups, where they mentioned that when their parents died, adoptive parents, they were told by their relatives to get out the family home, their parents' home, because they're not part of the family, and so they need to go and leave their parents' possessions behind for these other relatives. And they're asking, what can we do? What can I do legally? If you're an adoptive mom, I don't care how loving your parents or family might be, please write a will. Or adoptive dad, write a will and make it very clear that that child is your child, and what is yours is your child's. Make sure, please, I beg you, make sure that your child will not suffer more than they need to if you die. Also, if you suffer physically, and it's an illness like mine that isn't very common, that isn't known, that doesn't get much support because people don't get it, welcome to my corner of the world. As I've noted recently with a friend of mine, people fear cancer, and that will make them say, oh no, I'm so sorry, what do you need, what can I do for you, how are you feeling today, how's wherever the cancer is, I don't know if it's is it osteosarcoma in your bones, that kind of thing. But when you've got chronic, incurable, progressive disease that has never been heard of, it's like it's nothing. It's like you said, oh, I've got a headache. That's honestly how it comes across to me when I tell some people. It's like it's nothing. And I'm here to tell you, not only do I know it's something, but I feel it too. Chronic, whatever your chronic pain / and chronic illness and chronic fatigue cause is or disease is, let's be here for each other, cheer each other on the good days, and commiserate when there is a bad day. For those of you, who are constantly in pain, and it's just a matter of how high has the pain gone today, or not even today, in these last 20 minutes. If your life is pain, welcome to my world. I feel you, literally. I don't want to, but I feel you. What else was I going to say? If you're a homeschooling mom whose homeschooling efforts are not supported by your relatives, by your family, if you cannot share your children's victories or struggles with your relatives, welcome to my world. We can cheer each other on, we can commiserate with each other. I'm here for that. And also I'm here for the people who, who've told me that I didn't realize how important health was, because I've always been healthy. So I didn't know how debilitating it can be to be sick always. And you've made me appreciate life more. I'm here for you too. And if I can help you appreciate life more, I'm all for it. If I'm here to help you appreciate your neurotypical child more, I'm here for it, because I will be honest, in this part of the internet, I'm not going to sugarcoat the reality just because some activists who are autistic or have ADHD feel that we autism moms, as they call us, stigmatize them or make them seem like they're problems, because the child is not the problem, but the behavior that comes with the disorder, or the other things that come with the disorder, the comorbidities, for example, to call it by another name, those are a problem, because they do make life difficult for the child, and by extension, you, as the one who loves the child. If you are one of those who's like at their wit's end and has no idea where to go, where to turn, where you feel lonely and isolated, I'm here for you too, because it is hard. And yes, my husband is their father, he gets it, but he's not here the whole day. And even now, he's napping. I'm the one who's had to open the door 4 times for different children who wanted things. They will generally not, unless they stay home, they won't feel it the way we do as primary caregivers. So for you also, I hope that this place will be a place where you can just say, I'm not the only one. She gets it too. Or she also experiences it. I'm not exaggerating how hard it is. I'm here for you as well. And we will give each other ideas. Well, really, you'll give me ideas, because no, I've got nothing, honestly. I think of the rheumatologist who diagnosed me after many years of medical gaslighting, which will be my next video. He felt my bones, my joint, especially my going across my SI joint, which is where your buttocks are, really, that bone that goes across your hips, that area, pelvic bones at the back. He was feeling them, and he could feel the heat, and he could see the swelling, and he could see the mobility that I had lost. And he knows how painful this disease is, ankylosing spondylitis. He knows how bad it is. My fingers were swollen. And then as he got to hear more about my life, as in, can you take disability? Can you go on leave? And I told him that, well, I'm a homeschooling mom, so I'm constantly mothering. And then I explained what kind of children I have who need extra vigilant mothering. He asked, why did God do this to you? It's not fair. But at the same time, he said, why do you look so happy? He was actually asking me why I'm smiling. Why do you look so happy when your life is so horrible? And I'm here for those people too, who, we try and make lemonade out of our lemons, eh? Non-inflammatory lemonade, so no sugar. Yes, I'm here for those people who don't want their disease to be their whole life, but it is their whole life, and who do still want to see the roses, not just the thorns, but who also still will admit that when they picked a rose, a thorn pricked them. I'm here for that. I want to be real. And I'm also here for the people who are not on treatment for various reasons, and are not thriving and skateboarding and running up and down the stairs like so many AS patients can. I mean, I'm happy for them, but there are many of us who have not reached that stage yet. Many of us who have to use walkers, who have to use canes, who limp, who are in pain, who have not yet found the magic bullet, who are still supremely, extremely tired. I'm here for you too. I don't know. I'm your comrade. That's what I'm here for, to let you know that I'm with you. I'm also not one of those who can forget AS. I can't forget AS. It's in my bones. My lungs, I don't know what they're doing. The pulmonologist thinks they're also doing something. It's also my AS. ankylosing spondylitis doing something. And I've got chronic inflammation in my stomach. There's a lot. And if you're one of those who just feels overwhelmed sometimes, I'm here for you. And to close this, I will say, if you're one of those who, like me, if you're Christian, has prayed at night when the pain was unbearable and said, okay, God, just kill me, I'm here for you too. I will never, ever minimize your pain. I will never trivialize your pain. And I know more than anybody else how deceptive, invisible diseases are, because we want to be happy, we want to be cheerful, we want to feel good, and we don't want to be a downer on other people. And I'm sure there are many people like me who hide how bad it is, even from their husbands or wives. I do. I'm very guilty of that. I don't express half the time how bad it is. If they'll say, okay, let's go wherever, I won't say, no, actually, I'd rather just lie in bed. I can't. I'll just drag myself and go. And I know also part of it is because I can never transfer the level of my pain to them. They will never know what it feels like. And I wish they could feel it. That would be better if they could feel it, because you can't describe it. It's indescribable. So if you're one of those people who isn't fully real, and also gets frustrated when people say, oh, you look good today, and you're thinking, I've taken 8 pain tablets, and this is my, okay, I'll be fine for the next 10 minutes look. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because it's like people haven't heard you. They haven't heard you telling them that I am in constant pain. When they tell you that, it's like they're dismissing your suffering. It's not like you can paint it on your face. Well, you could, I guess. I guess you could write, I am in pain right now. Yes, my smile is there, but my body is still being damaged, So we just say, really? And we leave it at that. If you're one of those who feels like your suffering is not understood, validated, heard, I will hear you. Feel free to let me know what your sickness is as we go on, and what is the worst part of it in terms of the isolation part of it. And yeah, we will get to know each other more as I get to post more. Really, today was just to tell you who I am. I'm a mother of 6, Black, Adventist. I was actually just a Christian until it just kept coming to me. You are Black, you are less than. And that's what I'm going to be honest about as well. Some Black Adventists said I was being divisive by posting about things that happened to me. If you're one of those, you'd better also log off, because my truth, or the truth, my lived reality, my lived experiences, they might seem divisive to you by expressing them, but they are real and they happen to many other people, and I want us to be a safe space for those people as well. What is divisive is not our sharing it. What is divisive is that people hate us just because of the way we look. That is what is causing division, not us expressing or sharing the reminder that there's a division. So yeah, welcome to me. I will share more about ankylosing spondylitis, which I realize now I've had since I was a child, and other chronic illnesses and how they actually could have all been part of this. I will share about my adoptions and relationships I have with one of my children's parents. It's an open adoption, and that's a lovely story. If you are Christian, then you will see how God put me and my one child's birth parents together. And yes, I know that also is a minefield. The thing of what you call them. Is it a birth parent? Is it a biological parent? Is it a natural parent? Is it a real parent? All of that. I just know what my child's birth mother and their birth father feel like. To them, they're not a father or a mother. I'm the mother. That is how they feel. And so that's how I will speak. based on my reality, and sorry to offend. I don't mean to offend those who have a different reality, but this will be my space. You can write about your issues or post about them or share videos on your space. Anyway, I hope this will be a place of warmth, camaraderie. I get yous. I didn't understand before, or how can I help my friend or my sister or my brother who's, you know, in similar shoes to yours. That's what I want. I want us to grow. I want this to be something that will help, not just a place to whine when things are bad, but I want us to help each other. It's only through caring for other people that our hearts grow. And if you can open your eyes more, there are many hurting people with it's no jobs, too low an income. There's lots of pain out there, and I hope that something I say might inspire someone or motivate someone to be more thoughtful of that other person who's in a worse space than they are in, and that it will motivate some kind of action. We need action. Words aren't enough, though if it's the right kind of words, it's definitely enough. Yeah, that is it for now. Mother of 6 signing off.